Hi guys, and welcome back to Crypto Chester. I'm here today to give you an update. Just give me 1 sec. I completely forgot to put my hat on. Just give me like 2 seconds. There we go. There we go. All back in the game. Right, we'll start this one again. Hello guys, and welcome back to Crypto Chester. Apologies for the unprofessional start, if you will. Just absolutely scampering as the intro was coming on. So yeah, we're going to be going through Bitcoin here on the short term, the mid term, and of course the macro long term to see what's been going on. I'm out of breath now. God, what's been going on, and what sort of prediction we can be making here for crypto, for Bitcoin, over the next sort of week or so. It's going to be a very, very interesting show. So make sure as well you get your altcoin requests in the chat, and we will break down some altcoins here live on air, live on stream, which is going to be very, very exciting as well. And yeah, just jumping straight to the chat quickly. We've got Zombie coming through. Nice to see you on this stream there, my good sir. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And we've got Grant You a Wish as well, saying, Grant, it's been a while. It's been a while, man. Yeah, it has been a while. I think you joined for incredibly busy with traveling for the last 2 years. Yeah. So yeah, I think it was 2 years since we last a little bit of a e-meeting, I guess. But yeah, nice to see you on the stream there, man. Do appreciate you stopping by. But without further ado, guys, if you could, of course, drop a like on it. It does help it out tremendously. And yeah, let's get deep down, dirty, and deceitful into the charts today here for Bitcoin. Okay, so starting off with Bitcoin, of course, we've got a massive move to the upside. It's absolutely exploded in the last sort of 3 hours or so. I was pretty shocked. I actually shorted. Like 60,600 or something. So I just got absolutely wrecked here this morning. Hey ho, it is what it is. You can't predict a move like this with this TA. Like it's just very, very impossible. This is just purely either manipulation or institutional buying power. We did see a lot of liquidations actually get slapped this morning. Okay, some big liquidations around 62k get slapped. Personally, I was looking at it and it was very, very bearish, and I really did think that we would be heading further down, okay, at least to test 60,300, that sort of area. So I was going for a nice little scalp there, and yeah, just got absolutely wrecked. So again, apologies on Fairdesk if you followed that trade. That would have probably hurt a little bit, but it is what it is. We will make the money back. Live and you learn. It is what it is. You can't really predict that, as I said. But what is Bitcoin doing now? That's the really important question, okay? We've got falling parallel channel, guys. You can see the support here. You can see the support. You can see the support. You can see the support. Resistance, resistance, and break of resistance to the upside. This is a falling parallel channel. Falling parallel channels, you know what they tend to do? They tend to usually break to the upside, okay? This is actually the measure move that we're working with, guys. From this breakout point, the measure move is going to be inside the channel, as you can see here. This level of support to this level of resistance. Very, very simple. Drag that over to the break point, and you can see this will be the measure move. The measure move actually collides perfectly and lines up perfectly with a very key level of... No, sorry. The move... the move ties up perfectly with this key level of resistance, which is currently set at 63.3. So if you're looking for a target and you're in this lovely, lovely long, then yeah, this would be a very nice place to essentially be getting out. Okay, it would be the completion of the measure move. The move would have consisted of around a 2.73% move to the upside, looking pretty good overall. We will go into the macro because there's some very interesting points that I want to be showing you guys as to why I'm technically very bullish on Bitcoin right now, or at least very bullish on a run to really start in the next sort of either this week or next week. It's up for debate at this time. I thought we were going to have sort of a pullback this week, and then next week it was going to start to take off. But hey, Monday morning, what can you do? We're absolutely exploding, jumping up a couple of percent here. So who knows? Could this be a trap for now? We will see. Okay, we will be getting into more of the macro T8 very, very, very shortly. We've got Subfloor Dweller coming through as well, saying hello all. Nice to see you on the stream there, sir. Hope you're having a fantastic day for yourself. But let's go into what we can kind of predict here for Bitcoin. Okay, so again, resistance is clearly going to be happening at this area. Okay, the previous towards the end of last week, guys, on the Friday, we actually saw Bitcoin dump off a cliff, like seriously aggressive in, it was like a couple of minutes or something like that. It was really, really aggressive sell off to the downside, worth around 3%. So if we're talking momentum from this resistance point, I'm not saying we're going to dump down 3% from this area. What I'm saying is we need to basically look at the average sort of momentum that we get from this resistance point. You can see it is around a 1% move, okay? 1% move. We were flirting with that idea of breaking it to the upside. Didn't quite get there. So it basically tells us we're probably looking for around a 1% pullback at around 63.3 down to around 62.6. Now, what is interesting is we have got volume-weighted ATR bands coming up. You can see the 15-minute, you can see the 5-minute in still a progressionary stance to the upside. 60-minute is pretty far away. I do want to see where the 30-minute is. I don't think we've got that on the chart right now, but let's bring up the 30-minute. Because this bad boy is very, very important here if it is going to line up with any sort of resistance point that we can be using to our advantage here. Just give that a second to load here. TikTok. Let me get you some music while that's loading. There we go. Bit of music in the background for you guys. Oh, what do you know? We're actually sat directly on the 30-minute right now. didn't pre-rehearse that. That's it is what it is. Okay, so that's actually a very key point. So it's essentially saying right now that we might not even get to this level because we've got the 30-minute volume-weighted ATR band in a digressionary stance, may I add as well, guys. When it is in a digressionary stance, and that is this little red line here. So we can get an example here. I know there's loads of red lines. It's just on this cursor here. So you can see, again, digressionary stance for this 30-minute. We come up very aggressively, and you can see we have quite an aggressive pullback there. And again, it isn't a progressionary stance, still a pullback to be mentioned there, okay? But what we're sort of looking out for now, guys, is essentially exactly where we are. So we have obviously exploded. It's gone parabolic. We're likely to see a pullback coming through very, very shortly. If that pullback doesn't happen now, we got it at 63.3. Very likely for that to happen. If it doesn't happen there, we've got 64.6 as well. So there is going to be areas. I'm not going to be blindly shorting these areas. What I would be waiting for here, guys, if I am going to be looking to short this asset right now, would be the confirmation in terms of quite a few wicks, quite a few tests to the upside here, and then just one simple rejection, okay? You need to see this consolidation when you're testing something and then playing on that rejection from that point, because it basically means when you're testing it so many times and you're not breaking it to the upside, it's very likely you actually do see the rejection play out, especially after going so parabolic, okay? So overall, that's sort of what I would be looking for here for Bitcoin. As you can see, we are seeing a nice move to the upside. But overall, guys, please be aware, measure move completion is sat at around 63.3 today, okay? Mug check. That's some good gingerberry tea. Gotta love it. So yeah, that's what I would say about the short term here for Bitcoin. A few things to be looking out for there. We've got the RSI. We've got a couple of divergence scenarios coming through here for the RSI. Bearish divergence coming through usually means continuation to the downside. From this point, we did see that. We saw a move from around 61.5 down to around 60,700, 60,600. And from there, obviously, it's exploded. Pretty hard to predict it, okay? Pretty hard to predict that. But let's jump to the midterm time frame and let's see what is going on here, because we are in essentially a retest here on the midterm time frame. You can see this trend line very, very, very strong here, and you can see that we have basically been flirting with the idea of finding support on this area. Didn't quite get there until we tested 60,469 as that level. We were talking about this last week, guys, and how strong the momentum from this area actually is and has been previously. Continuously strong from this area, right? Yes, we did break it. Happens sometimes. But we're just going to take the average of the data that we can see here, and you can see multiple levels of support. So if we're using that as data, guys, the range that we could be actually looking for here will consist of something like this, okay? And that will be down, that will be from 64.5 down to around 60,500 as well, okay? So if we are looking for an absolute max for this move, in my opinion, I don't see us soaring a lot higher than this. If the longer that we are going to be trending up in sort of this micro uptrend here, yes, the higher chances that we are going to break to the upside, and we will probably see us break this range. But in this parabolic motion that has been happening over the last sort of 4 hours or so, I wouldn't expect to be coming any higher than this area of resistance at 64.5 if we do see the continuation to the upside. It does collide with the volume-weighted ATR band on the 60-minute as well. You can see heavy resistance from this area previously. So yeah, it's pretty much written in stone that we're probably going to see at least a nice pullback from this zone, especially being so parabolic in this current move. Okay, so just be aware for that. Try not to long the top here. Yeah, try not to long the top. It's pretty much it for the midterm. Like, there's not really that much going on. We could do a trend line from this low here and just use that as a reference point, but that would actually do something along the lines of this, right? We can get rid of this trend line for a minute, and we can just talk about this symmetrical triangle chart pattern. This is at the bottom of a micro downtrend, guys. So this essentially means it's a bearish pennant chart pattern, which tends to usually mean continuation to the downside. And this is why it's a bit choppy, too good to be true, pumping here on a Monday so aggressively, okay? So aggressively we will go into the macro with the other data that we have got there. So I do think we might even see this becoming a bit of a trap, okay? So we did see, obviously, last week's scenario coming through, massive move to the upside coming in, and then, obviously, absolutely wrecked, okay? Another massive trap there, because a lot of people are very scared they're going to miss the massive move, okay? Because if we flash back to here, this area here, guys, where you can see 38,600. This is basically where we saw the US ETFs get passed, and we saw a 13-day grace period before institutional buying power really started to set in here, okay? We did see Hong Kong ETF get passed on the 13th of April, I do believe, 13th of April, and we were looking for around the 30th of April, 13-day, no, it was the 17th? Yeah, it was the 17th of April that the Hong Kong ETF got passed, and we were looking for that 13-day grace period as well to the 30th of April, and we didn't actually see anything come of that. We actually saw dumpage to the downside. So there is a lot of people around the world internationally that are looking at that as a statistic and not wanting to miss out on the institutional buying power that we did see from the US, okay? And that institutional buying power consisted of BlackRock literally scooping up over 1% of Bitcoin here, and you can see the structured move to the upside was very, very clean. It was a really nice trend. So what I'm saying here is a lot of people are scared right now that they're going to miss that, okay? That they're going to miss that sort of move. So it only makes sense for the whales and the market manipulators here to sort of throw it around a bit, try and trap as many people out. If we are going to jump to live liquidation levels right now, guys, we've pretty much cleared all of the liquidation levels here on the heat map, apart from the ones to the downside. The ones to the downside are around 60,000, 60,200. So those are the areas of manipulation that we can be looking out for there. And just keep your eyes peeled for those areas, because if this is a trap, I would expect us to head down to 60K quite promptly, okay? And a lot of people are just pretty bearish in general, right? So yeah, let's line that back up. Perfect stuff, good stuff. But yeah, if we are going to be using this point as a reference here, we can see resistance is futile from this area, and that does indicate that we are going to see a pullback coming through to around 61.5 if we don't break this level, okay? If we don't break this level, if we do break this level, guys, as I was just saying earlier, we've got that volume weighted ATR band here on the 60-minute to be holding us down, and also this level of resistance as well. So just try not to be too bullish here, because it's very, very trappy, right? Yeah, moving on to the longer term time frame here for Bitcoin, because we've got some interesting points to be going through. We're going to be looking at the previous halving. We're going to be looking at stochastic on the weekly. We're going to be looking at money flow trends here. It's very, very interesting data here that has got me in a very bullish stance here for Bitcoin on the macro, okay? On the macro, not on the micro, may I just add. But yeah, just going to have a little sip of the tea, and we're going to get into it. While I'm sipping the tea, if you could hit that like button, does help out tremendously. If you are new to the stream, we are streaming here, and that just, yeah, the schedule has actually changed a bit, guys. I'm changing the schedule, unfortunately, trying to fit a few different projects in and stuff like that. So I'm going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday now, not every single day. Bit annoying, but hey ho, is what it is. And the reasoning for that is, again, like I said, it is I'm doing quite a few projects at the moment, and my schedule is pretty rammed. But again, crypto is pretty flaccid and kind of boring at times. So if I'm streaming every day, it does get a little bit repetitive in what I'm saying. So it's kind of better to break it down, give the charts a bit of a breathing time, and otherwise I'm just a record on repeat, basically. Which we're not about that. We need new information, new TA, right? Ah, it's my favorite tea, I must say. But yeah, let's jump to the quack quickly. Jump to the chat quickly. Let's see who we got coming through. We've got Subfloor Dweller and Grant You a Wish. chilling in there today, having a lovely conversation about leverage, I do believe. Good stuff. But yeah, let's jump down into the macro here, because these are some very interesting points that I want to go through. The first thing I want to go through, guys, is going to be the average sort of pullback levels for each cycle that we have seen. So just to explain my chart a bit, because it is pretty messy, this blue line coming down the horizontal, that is the halving. Okay, if we zoom out, these are all the previous halvings and the runs up from them. Okay, so we will be going into detail as to what has happened and how long it took to happen, how long essentially the cycle, the bullish cycle after the halving took to begin. Okay, so you can and a few other indicators and stuff to insinuate sort of a prediction for that. So you can see from the halving. At this point, the state of the quantum insight at that point, you can see the stochastic was actually heading down quite rapidly here to this low point, okay, which is very important for these bull cycles, having this stochastic crossover on the lower side, and we will get into a lot more detail here. You know what, let's just go into that right now. Let's go into the stochastic crossover on the weekly for all of the cycles here for the Bitcoin after the halving. So back to 2020 here, when we did see this halving coming through, let's have a look where the stochastic was. The stochastic was actually climbing up quite aggressively, and it actually took a long time to come down to this sort of area, okay? I'm talking a couple of months here, guys. We're talking from the 11th of May all the way down to the 21st of September, maybe 4 or 5 months or so there. So it took a long time to actually get to that area. But when we did see that area come through, that stochastic crossover here on the weekly here for Bitcoin, what do you know? What happened? This was the start of the big run. Okay, this was the start of the big run for Bitcoin and the big run for cryptocurrency just in general. Going back again to the previous cycle here, let's have a little look where we were at. You can see the halving, the stochastic's actually coming down quite aggressively here on the weekly. Really nice stuff. And you can see we hit that around the end of August for the stochastic crossover on the weekly. What does that do here? You can see this area here was exactly where we had that crossover. What do you know from that point? It was just a straight moonshot, okay? It was just a straight moonshot from that weekly stochastic. And I will go into the details as to why this is very important for our current cycle, okay? And let's look at the previous cycle. This is obviously, the data's not as good here just because well, Bitcoin was priced at $11, right? So the data's not as good there, but we can still be using it to our advantage here. So again, the stochastic crossover actually happened just before the halving here. But you can see the closer it is to the halving, the more likely it is for that cycle to actually happen very fast. So when that happened, you can see the cycle happened really smoothly, really nice. Then the stochastic took a little while to come down after that pullback. What do you know? We saw that crossover again, and then another big run for Bitcoin. So let's jump to the live halving right now, and let's see why that is important to where we currently are and where Bitcoin is currently trading. Okay, now look at this. This is very interesting. We are coming down here very aggressively for the stochastic. We're very close to seeing that crossover. Very close to seeing that crossover. Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks away. Very important stuff, because if this is going to happen in the next sort of 2 weeks, it means that we're going to start a run, guys. I'm talking a big dog run, okay? Huge, a big juicy run here for Bitcoin. And you can see every time this has happened, it's not been like a couple of percent here for Bitcoin. It's been literally humongous moves to the upside. It starts the whole run for crypto. And what is very important about where we are right now here for the charts, it's the fact that it's actually a lot earlier than the previous couple of cycles. And what I mean by that, guys, is you can see we're in May. Okay, we're in May. 2 weeks from now, we're still going to be at the end of May. And if we see the stochastic crossover at the end of May here, compared to other cycles, we were waiting a significant amount of time, right? Usually towards the end of October here, we're waiting for that to happen here in this cycle. And again, in so much stuff on my chart, I keep dragging it around. In this cycle as well, towards the end of September, we waited for this to actually happen and actually see that move to the upside begin. But what I'm saying here is it's looking very progressive and very good for Bitcoin, for crypto right now, to see what we're seeing here just from the stochastic point of view. Okay, now let's talk money flow trends. Okay, money flow trends is the money coming in and out of Bitcoin, and the support levels as to what's going to be holding us up and what sort of areas we could be looking for potential bounce points. Now, where we are right now in terms of the money flow, guys. And the money flow, just for you guys that don't know this indicator that I do use here, is this money flow coming up like so, okay? Really nice stuff. It's these little tiny circles here that we're going to be referencing. If it's red, it's bearish. If it's blue, it's bullish, okay? So you can see actually we've got a lovely trend line highlighting the levels of support here in terms of the money flow. Now, what happens when you see this support come through? If I can get my clicker right. Come on. Work with me here, TradingView. Work with me here. Here we go. You can see we actually do see really, really strong moves to the upside here for Bitcoin in general, right? You can see really, really nice moves here, bouncing really perfectly off this money flow trend line. Where are we right now? We're sat directly on this money flow trend line, okay? Sat directly on it. So that insinuates again that we're likely to see a nice move here within, well, the cycle begin within the next week or so. It's getting interesting, okay? It's getting interesting. Let's look at previous money flow trends here from the previous halving in 2020. You can see we saw a low here around February 2019. Our first level of support on around the 13th of July, and then we saw the stochastic and the money flow colliding together, two very strong confluences on that trend line at the end of October. What happened? We absolutely exploded and we started our run, okay? Going back to the previous cycle, where are we at for all that? I actually don't have a trend line on for that, so we can do that live and see if that has any sort of relevance here. Maybe it doesn't. Yeah, no, so we actually lost the trend line before the halving, so can't really be using that as a very strong data point there. Maybe we could be using something along the lines of that. I mean, it's still a bit choppy. I mean, you can see we actually saw nice tests coming through from here, and a nice move to the upside. And again, another test here, and you can see another move to the upside. So yeah, it is valid, and yeah, it does actually line up pretty nicely with that stochastic crossover as well. But again, it's only, what, 2 touch points here on this trend line before we see a sort of a confluence coming through from that point. So not the most valid data, still valid and still works, but the real thing that we're looking out for there is the pattern between this cycle and last cycle here, okay? So just to summarize, we're getting very, very close here to a potential, to the start of everything, to the start of this whole crazy, I mean, obviously we've been in this crazy run for a while, but I'm talking the common pattern that we do see for Bitcoin just in general, humongous percentages, okay? Talking big dog stuff, okay? So let's see where we went from there. It was around a 480% move to the upside here for Bitcoin. Is it going to get that high this time? Probably not. I don't see a 480% move coming through, but what we can be looking at here is the stock and flow model here, and we can look at the 365-day MA. Yep, 365-day stock and flow MA, and that target price is actually all the way up here at around $448,000 for this move, okay? And just breaking this down quickly, guys, you can see this horizontal line, this horizontal line, this horizontal line, and of course, this horizontal line. These are all the areas where we have had the halving, okay? These are the halving points here for Bitcoin. And you can see after the halving, massive move, massive move, massive move. Hopefully, lovely big move to the upside. But what I'm really interested in is this 365 MA. As you can see, every move, we come and we hit it. And we usually, well, every time we've smashed it to the upside, okay? So the next prediction for this indicator is up at around $448,000, which would put Bitcoin, I mean, is a bit ridiculous doing this. So just don't hold me to it, but entertainment purposes only. $448,000 will be a 600% move for Bitcoin. Okay, so it is a 7x. So we are looking at the market cap for Bitcoin, which I'm not quite sure what it is right now. I'll just bring that up one sec, guys. Yeah, I'm just going to bring up the there were some little issues there. Here we go. I'm going to bring up the market cap here for Bitcoin, $1.2 trillion. Okay, so if we're looking at a 7x for that, we're talking what, literally like 8.4 or something like that, right? That's ridiculous. Okay, 400k BTC at an $8.4 trillion market cap. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous, but it's not out of the question. Okay, and the reasoning for that is because like only 5% of the world actually bought and sold crypto before. So there's potential there, guys. There is potential, but I'm not going to get too excited there. But yeah, that is the stock and flow prediction here. $448,000 for Bitcoin. Doubtful. I think maybe next cycle. But yeah, overall, just to summarize, guys, for this macro prediction here for Bitcoin, we're sat on very, very crucial points here. I would say we're likely to start the cycle probably within 2, 3, 4 weeks or so, maybe even in the next 2 weeks. Okay, if that does happen, then please get your seatbelts on, okay, because we are driving that car at 400 kilometers an hour. Even if you can't go that fast, I don't know if you can, but yeah, we're going to be driving it very, very fast, and it will be basically taking off to the goddamn moon here. So yeah, just be aware for that. Now, I do want to touch on previous pullback levels here for the cycles as well. Very, very interesting statistics here, because you can see the average pullback is around 20% here that we have seen for this cycle. The average pullback for the previous cycle, 20% there, 31% there, 25, 55, micro bear market there, but is what it is. You can see, so it's, on average, it's around going to be around 30, probably around 25% there as the average pullback for that initial bull market there. And you can see where we're currently at in terms of the market, in terms of the pullback that we have currently just had. It's good news, because we've already had the average pullback has been completed, guys. So that's another bullish sign that we can be using in our favor here. Okay, in our favor. Good stuff. But yeah, that is going to be it for BTC, I think. Yeah, that's going to be it for BTC. Let me know what you think in the comments, what you think of BTC and how high you think it's going to go. And if you are just joining us, make sure you hit the thumbs up. It does help out tremendously. And of course, if you've got some altcoins, you know what to do. Put them in the chat and I will start breaking them down for you. We're going to break down some altcoins together. KSM ripping for me now, says Grant. Jump to KSM, shall we? That's the logo with the bird, I think, right? And yeah, get ready for render to come through this week, guys. It's looking like it's going to take another leg up here. Should be good. To around 11.6. Does look quite clean, especially after today's pump. We did see this react quite nicely here with BTC, and probably what I would expect for this before we go into KSM. It's just probably just a nice gradual uptrend. If BTC is going to hold its area and not get rejected quite aggressively off this volume weighted ATR band on the daily, the 1 hour here, then I would expect render itself to just probably start trickling up like we have seen recently. Some really, really nice moves to the upside. I mean, this uptrend was just, it was pure beauty to watch here. So yeah, hopefully we can see something along the lines of that. And setting a confirmed higher low here for this micro uptrend is a really bullish sign. And this would be our next confirmed higher low for this uptrend if we can break this high. Okay, so you break this high, this confirms this is your higher low. So you know you're sort of still in a bullish stance, even if you pull back to this area. You can actually probably look at some longs from that area as well. Probably more of an accumulation phase for an asset like this. Let's get deep down and dirty into KSM, and then we're going to be looking at some other coins from the chat. So please make sure you spam them away. I see GRT, I see High Coin Dive, and I see AVAX as well. So yeah, we will be going through them very shortly. So let's go KSM. Yeah, it's the one with the bird. It's the one with the bird, man. Seeing a nice move to the upside, actually. And you can see Stacks seems to be on the move, says Zombie. Yeah, sure, we can have a look at Stacks. Yeah, it does actually, up around 4% today. Not looking too bad. Yeah, you can see here KSM is actually bounced really nice and cleanly off the volume weighted ATR band here. You can see the response of this volume weighted ATR band on the hourly. It's pretty goddamn good, okay? So you can see a really, really nice move there. Let's start drawing some nice fresh TA for this chart, because we are on the 4 hour. I would kind of like to go to more of the macro. What are we working with here? Yeah, maybe not. We'll stay with where we're at. Okay, so this is going to be a level of support. We're going to have some spillage to the downside, only naturally in this current market to see that. So this is going to be the spillage. This is going to be your sort of a shorting trap zone, where a lot of people would have been like, oh my god, I'm going short, and you just got absolutely wrecked here. So that's definitely going to be a point to be looking out for there. But please be aware, this is still technically a descending triangle, okay? And what I mean by that, you have a downward sloping resistance line here. You can see resistance again. And you can see, obviously, levels of support on a horizontal standpoint, creating that descending triangle chart pattern. Descending triangle chart patterns are what they do what they say on the tin, like a tin of baked beans. They go to the downside, okay? They usually break to the downside. So sort of what we're looking for here is going to be some of the stuff I say, man. It just sounds so ridiculous. Yeah, the move to the downside for this asset, probably looking for around 13.64%. But wait, we're not going to be breaking that low in that current measure move. So it is still quite a good sign here from a market structure reversal standpoint. But yeah, we're seeing a nice move to the upside. Nothing too crazy right now for KSM. But let's look at money flow. Let's look at the quantum insight here on the daily here and see what we're working with. Quite a lot of downwards momentum actually. This would be quite an interesting buying area, having stochastic down at the lowest point it can be, with momentum being so low as well. So this would have been probably a strong bounce point here for this asset. And as you can see from this zone, this would be candle body close. Very nice bounce point for that there. So yeah, overall, not looking too shabby there. I would be slightly concerned here. Slightly concerned at this candle on this potential momentum trend line, okay? And the reason for that is because if we close this this daily candle, this 14-hour candle below this momentum trend line, even though it's looking really bullish here, it's still going to be bearish. It's still going to say that momentum is getting stronger to the downside here. So just be aware for that, because if that is going to happen, then we can predict some more downside. Basically, we need a very strong move to up to around 30 now, maybe even a move above that, 31 potentially on the cards, and then you get a candle body close around that area for momentum here that I'm looking for here, because at the moment the open for this candle is currently sat around here, okay? So the open for the candle is here, and right now this is reacting live. So if we do see a nice move to the upside, and the candle actually does get back above this momentum zone, that's bullish, guys, okay? That is going to be a bullish sign for this asset, and that is where we can be looking for a potential break to the upside here, not to the downside here, but obviously depending on Bitcoin, depending on a few other things. But yeah, overall, that's what I would be looking out for here over the next 14 hours for this asset, okay? We've got Onion Ring coming through. Nice name. Always makes me laugh. That name. Mug check. Love to see it. But yeah, let's get deep down and dirty into some more altcoins. GRT is next. And guys, if you've got any altcoin requests, make sure you slap them in the chat. And I'm streaming every single day. Monday. No, I'm not. Not anymore, guys. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I'm streaming. So yeah, if you want to join the Telegram, subscribe to the channel, you know what to do. GRT. Let's get rid of that. TA. Dirty, filthy. Going to be looking at some major trend lines here on the daily. But first, we're going to be looking at market structure, guys. Market structure from a macro perspective is very important, okay? So the market structure higher lows that we do have for this asset, you can see this is the low, higher low, higher low, higher low. These are confirmed higher lows as well, guys. And what I mean by that, if you are new to trading, it's actually very important to confirm these market structure higher lows. Some people just go, oh, we've had a pullback, that's a higher low. A pullback, that's a higher low. Absolutely not. Does not work like that. What you need to do to confirm that higher low is actually break the previous high. If you don't break the previous high, this higher low isn't a level of support that's going to be a valid level. Obviously, it might act as a level of support, but nowhere near as strong as what it would be if it wasn't confirmed, essentially. No, it's stronger if it's confirmed is what I'm trying to say. But what I'm saying here, the higher low for GRT to be looking out for there, for this bullish market macro structure here, is actually pretty much sat at around 23 cents. Now, you have tested that twice, 3 times, maybe even 4 times here, flirting with the idea of seeing that bounce point there. And what do you know? You have seen it looking pretty good overall. On the macro, what I would be sort of excited about right now is this bullish hammerstick candlestick chart pattern, testing the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement as well, and bouncing off the volume weighted ATR band here on the 60-minute. These are bullish signs, guys, okay? This is bullish signs for this asset, but what I do want to see is the macro candle body close above the 0.5 Fibonacci, okay? Micro market structure here for this asset, not actually looking too bad. We've got our low here. We've got our test of our previous lower high. And you can see breaking that high, coming down, testing a level of Fibonacci, 0.236. Very important level. Finding support, breaking the high, setting higher low there, coming down, testing higher low, breaking that high again. It's looking really good from a market structure standpoint. You're still breaking highs continuously. So it is looking fairly bullish overall, okay? So yeah, that's what I would say about GRT. Looking pretty good here from a micro, from a macro. let's move on to what is next. And guys, if you are just joining the stream, make sure you hit the like button. It does help us out tremendously. And again, if you do have some altcoin requests, make sure you slap them in the chat and I will get to them ASAP Rocky as soon as possible. What is next? We've got AVAX next, a bit of avalanche. Let's break this chart down together. See what we're working with here. Okay, AVAX here. We're going to be starting off on the macro, looking at market structure, of course. Market structure here for AVAX is, let me get rid of some indicators so it's a bit better for you guys here. Just give me a sec. Let's get rid of automatic Fibonacci. Now you can see market structure higher lows for this asset. You can see the major pullback that we did see before breaking this high was actually at around $27.30. That is going to be a key buying area for this asset. Obviously, very bullish on AVAX overall. That would be the completion of this measure move to the downside if we do see a bit more downside for this asset. Are we going to see it? That's the big question right now. It's not the end of the world if we do see it, as long as we're above 27.31, because that is the market structure higher low to have the if we break that to the downside, it basically ruins the bullish market structure that we're currently in. Okay, the confirmed bullish market structure. So as long as we're above that, we're still in the bullish market structure, is what I'm saying. Now, you can see here, again, let's jump down to the 4 hour, see what we're working with. We're actually just kind of sat in this boring range right now here for AVAX, okay? So you can see clear resistance to the downside here from this topside area. Very, very strong stuff. And again, support, 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 support. Currently testing that support. What is interesting about the test of this support, guys, is the momentum that we could see following, okay? The momentum, you can see here, 21% to the upside. Again, 21% to the upside. It's pretty strong, okay? So what does that tell us? It tells us if we are momentum trading this asset, basically, we could see a nice bit of momentum from this zone. Usually, we don't go for the same, especially in a parallel channel. It's very unlikely to get it over and over again, especially if you've already had it twice in a row. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut that in half very simply and aim for that central zone to get tapped. And you can see there is heavy resistance from that point as well. I do want to bring in some volume-weighted average true range bands here to be looking out for there, because these tend to usually be quite reactive here for an asset like AVAX, okay, for most assets. So what I'm talking about is the volume-weighted average true range here. Now you can see resistance very strong, testing it, resistance very, very strong here. These indicators are very, very, very good at plotting areas of essentially pullbacks and essentially getting rejected continuously. So we need to be using them to our advantage. Now, in terms of live price for this asset, where is the volume-weighted ATR band on the 60-minute? It's just here, guys. It's just here around $36.92. So that's going to be an area of resistance we need to be looking out for there. So if you are long on AVAX, be sure to be taking profit, because that is a resistance point that you're likely to get rejected on. Now, it's actually very important to understand these guys, because when they're in a digressionary stance, moving down, or when they're in a progressionary stance, moving up, has a very different effect as to the price and how it will react off that. So you can see here, slightly in a progressionary stance, the resistance wasn't as strong. Okay? We actually flirted around the idea of going up, and then obviously we saw the resistance, okay? Sometimes we can, if they're in a nice progressionary stance, we can actually trade along them like this continuously, and it's really, really nice. So what we're looking out for here to confirm that resistance as we come to it is essentially the asset, the volume-weighted average true range bands being in a digressionary stance like this, okay? Digressionary stance coming down. The first test that we did see, very aggressive to the downside, okay? This is the 4-hour chart, guys. These are not small moves, okay? You can see 2.62% move to the downside. Your 10x in, it's a 26% move, okay? So yeah, currently in a digressionary stance, definitely one to watch the downside. But overall, AVAX is still in this range, still holding strong, which is a bullish sign overall, considering the sort of sentiment of the market right now is not looking too great. Okay, so yeah, that'd be AVAX. Let's move across to what is next. What is next? I'm not doing Gary Network, I'm sorry. I can show you guys the Gary Network chart, and it's just it's pretty goddamn terrible. It's goddamn terrible. It's just a selling mess. You can see every single move to the upside. It's wreck city. It's just terrible. You can see every single move to the upside. Wrecked, 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 Red. It's just manipulation station. So yeah, and even most recently, I'd stay the hell away from this asset if I were you. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. Go and buy it if you want to buy it. I don't care. Obviously, I do. I don't want you guys to lose money. So but yeah, I'm not your financial advisor, of course. But yeah, Gary Network is definitely one to stay away from, in my opinion. Move on to what is next. Obviously, I don't want to slate your coins as well. Let's do stacks. But the chart, just in general, from a TA perspective, does look terrible. I don't know anything about the project, but the chart looks awful. Stacks. Look at the stacks. Let's have a little look what we're seeing here today. You can see. Let's get rid of some indicators. Market structure. We'll start off with 4 stacks, and you can see stacks actually been doing pretty well overall. Pretty nice. Market structure higher lows are very important. So we've obviously got this one coming through at around $1.20. That is a massive level of support. We did see these levels actually get tested previously, and they were confirmed because we did break the high. And this is where it gets very interesting. Okay, very interesting, because unfortunately, guys, what has happened here, it's actually great to find an example of this, especially in this market. We've actually started to break higher lows, and this is crucial stuff because this essentially means reversal of the trend is happening right now. The reversal of the trend is happening, and it's not on the micro, it's on the macro. We're on the daily here. So let's start this off. You can see upward sloping parallel channel, measure move to the downside. There's the short position. There's the measure move completion. Very nice, clean stuff. Well done to anyone who got involved with that. But let's just talk about where we are seeing now. So obviously we've broken these higher lows to the downside, and that essentially means we're now setting lower highs. So what we're going to do, we're going to start identifying the new market structure lower highs for this asset. And that is going to be just like so. This is going to be the lower high, and the reasoning for this is, guys, firstly, it's a test of the higher low, and then we proceed to break that test. Breaking that test confirms this lower high, okay? So we're going to be banging in a nice little lower high here. What color should I put that? Maybe we'll put it as put it as pink. Why not? We'll put it as pink. That's going to be the lower high there, and from this point as well, we've actually got a new higher low, okay? A new lower high for this current downtrend, okay? The new lower high that I'm talking about is going to be this one here. And the reasoning for that is, guys, is because we've broken the low, we've pulled back, and what do you know? We've broken that low again. Okay, we broke the low again. That confirms this lower high. So this is the lower high point we need to be looking out for, and they're very, very strong when we're testing them back to the upside again. So this basically tells us that we're in a reversal of the trend. Market structure has changed, and it's very, very important to take note of that, because it's now bearish. Unfortunately, it's now bearish. So definitely a bit more scary here when trading this asset in this bull market, because there is clear areas of resistance. Now, I'm not saying this asset's going to zero. What I am saying is there's the trend is your friend, and if you're trading it the correct direction, downside is probably more expected right now, or it's going to favor your position, okay? Another very key point we need to not overlook here is going to be the Fibonacci retracement zones, okay? Obviously, we've just gone through and broken down the market structure. Now, the Fibonacci retracement zones are very important, guys, because this 0.5, this is the confirmation of the reversal of the trend, okay? When we're talking Fibonacci, that's sort of what you're looking out for. Now, you can see we're currently testing and we're flirting with the idea of breaking that. What I would be looking out for here, guys, is potentially a short position if we do see conviction to the downside from this area. So over the next sort of 3-4 days or so for this asset, if we sort of trade around this area, let's draw a little box, actually. Let's draw a little box. If we're trading around this area, and it is looking like we can't break to the upside, and what I'm talking about is basically just wicks to the upside and then continue downside test like so. Following that trend, following the resistance in terms of momentum from this trend line as well, following the break of Fibonacci, the confirmation of the reversal of the trend, there is actually going to be probably quite a nice short position for stacks to the downside. How big could that short position be? If we're looking at the range here that we have seen previously between these Fibonacci areas, it's kind of a free flow, guys. You can see it's kind of a free float between this area. So it's quite large, okay? It's quite large, around 20%. But we need to be very cautious with that. And you know the score, the safest way to trade. You want to stagger your take profits continuously, 25% equity at each TP. Once you hit your first TP, stop loss to entry, and you're in a risk-free position, baby. Let's jump to the chat here, and let's look at LR's in the chat. Nice to see you on the stream there, LR. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We got Mr. 92, we got SMC, we got Rory as well. There's a lot of OGs coming through. We got Skydemex coming through, my guy. Let's go. Nice to see you on the stream there, man. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And there's NY Quill 789 as well. Yeah, nice to see you on the stream there, guys. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And yeah, if you like the content, you know what to do. Hit that like button. Hit that goddamn like button. Now let's move on to another altcoin request here. What is next? What is next? Let's have a little look. Ondu says Nayan. Felt like I did this one last week. Not a bad chart. Not a bad chart at all, may I say. You've got a bullish pennant chart pattern off the bat, and that is a symmetrical triangle chart pattern at the top of an uptrend, guys. And that usually means a continuation here. So this is a bullish chart pattern looking pretty good. I do want to look at some... I'm not going to get data from that because it's quite a new asset. I'm not quite new, but it's... I mean, it was launched this year. So yeah, overall it is pretty new. But we're looking for a prediction here, and we're looking for a potential trade. This would be the measure move to the upside for this breakout scenario. Again, there is trap zones hidden in this. You can see multiple trap zones there, so we're basically just be using that to our advantage wherever we're going to see this break here, and then that's going to be a first TP. But overall, yeah, this asset does look bullish. Let's look at the quantum insight. We haven't got that much data here as well. Momentum to the downside is actually getting stronger, which is not great. It's not great, but you do have the stochastic coming down to counteract that for a potential bullish crossover here on the lower side here on the daily. So overall, it doesn't look too bad, but again, not that much data to really be going off here. We can jump to the micro here using the QI, and this is actually quite a bullish sign. When you see momentum actually cross this blue line here with certainty, a nice smooth direction for the momentum here. You usually see a bit of a retracement here for the chart. And if we look at that in comparison to where we are now, you can see really, really nice stuff there in terms of a nice move to the upside from this bullish entry there. Overall, chart looks bullish, I would say. We do have automatic Fibonacci retracement areas to be considered. To be considered is the right terminology there. To be considered here, you've obviously got the high here, you've got the low down here, and you can see we're actually testing that 0.236 here for a nice move to the upside. I would be looking for a short-term breakout scenario, something along the lines of that. And the conviction that I would like to see is going to be a support level at 0.382 Fibonacci retracement, and then you can basically essentially ride that wave to the upside. How big is that micro move going to be? Unfortunately, don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but not that big. It's not going to be too bad. You need to look at it like this, right? This is going to be the measure move. This is going to be the break. And again, you're still going to need to take profit as you go up there. There is many levels of clear resistance, which could actually hurt your trade here if you are long. You don't just want one TP, guys. That's not the safest way to trade. You want 4 TPs and 25% equity taken out at every single take profit. Once you hit your first take profit, you take your stop loss wherever you have that. You take your stop loss, you move your stop loss to your entry point. And then you can basically recline your chair, sit back, hands up, relax. You're in a risk-free trade that it's already made you money, and could make you a lot more money, and you're not risking anything else, right? You can take like 10 of them a day and really get yourself into a really nice risk-free position if you navigate it right. Remember, greed is not your friend, okay? Greed is not your friend. If you're making 1% on your portfolio a day, that's insane, okay? That's absolutely insane. But yeah, let's move on to another asset here. Some serious thunderstorms over in Thailand right now. Serious thunderstorms. What is next? Can we see a dip in Solana? Yes, Solana did dip, actually, over the last day or so. A dip with Bitcoin towards the end of last week, yeah. But we have seen a really nice aggressive bounce back here for the day. Looking pretty good there overall. Parabolic yet again and moving with Bitcoin. If we jump to Bitcoin dominance quickly, guys, I just want to touch on this because we are still in this very aggressive uptrend for the Bitcoin dominance. And this essentially is sort of the confirmation you're looking out for here to depend whether your altcoins are going to start exploding on their own. Okay, it just shows how much dominance Bitcoin has, and the fact that this is continuously creeping up. Basically, if Bitcoin moves in a certain direction, then a lot of other altcoins will follow that direction. And the real key points of that are essentially if is Bitcoin banging it right now? 63. The key points of that is essentially if Bitcoin is dumping off a cliff, your altcoins will dump off a cliff too. Right? If Bitcoin dominance is quite low and we're seeing this fall and break out of this sort of channel here, then it's very likely that if Bitcoin dumps, your altcoins might even stay steady. Okay, so we just jump back to the previous bull market here for the Bitcoin dominance, and as you can see, towards the start of January, when, well, sort of the end of December, when sort of altcoins started to really take off here, you can see that the Bitcoin dominance started to really fall off a cliff. And this was because altcoins started to essentially move on their own, okay? And that's why we saw some insane gains here. So yeah, that's essentially what we're looking out for here when we see this chart pattern break to the downside. This is when your alts are going to start taking off. Crazy stuff. Like, remember we saw Matic just bang 100%. I think it was 90% in a day we saw Matic do last run. So, yeah, last cycle. So, yeah, that's sort of what we're looking out for there for the Bitcoin dominance. Let's jump back to Solana there because I do want to break this down from more of a macro standpoint. And then we will be doing ARB. Yes, I did see you in the chat there, Rafi. We're going to be doing ARB, no problem. But yeah, Solana has topped out this run at around 209. You kicked my light over there. Yeah, around 209. Market structure though is actually looking really nice and strong. You will be happy to hear that because I know quite a few of you out there. You're holding your Solana bag strong. It is a great asset. It is a great investment for a long-term strategy. It's one of the most popular blockchains out there, guys. It's going to be doing very, very, very well here. A little bit of congestion over the last sort of month, 2 months or so. But hopefully that's sorting itself out now. I have been, I did take, I think, a couple of weeks off trading like on the Solana chain, meme coins, other projects as well. And yeah, I took a couple of weeks off because I was like, this is just not working. It's too slow. The transactions are getting rejected. It's kind of not worth my time here. So I stopped and I started like the end of last week again, had a little play on Solana, and it's a lot faster, man. It's a lot faster. So yeah, it's looking up there. From a network speed perspective. Now, let's get into TA. You can see the market structure overall, guys. This is the most recent high low at around 104. As long as we're above that, we're Gucci, baby. We're still in a bull market. Still in a bullish macro trend here. Looking really, really good. Overall, if we are still above that area, I would say potential double bottom there. So we could see a nice reversal coming through. Again, double top. Get wrecked. In terms of Fibonacci retracement here, from the cycle's high to where is that measured from? Should be the low to the high, right? Usually got a big. We got 2 Fibonacci's going on. That's why. That's why. Okay, we got Fibonacci from the all-time high of Solana down to the lower low. The lowest point of the bear market that we did see for Solana was all the way down at $6. $6 for Solana? That's goddamn crazy. Yeah, so that was the lower low for the bear market here, and you can see we do have 2 Fibonacci areas. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of one of them, which is going to be that one there, and we're going to go on the most recent move here for Solana to the upside. Save the voice reminder. We're approaching an hour. I do appreciate it, Zombie. Do appreciate it. Yeah, don't want to wreck the voice, even though I do love streaming, man. It's good fun. So yeah, I will be calling it a day very, very shortly. Apologies, but I will do ARB. Don't worry, I will do ARB. And guys, I am back Monday, Wednesday, and Friday now. We have sort of had to cut the stream a little bit because I am getting a bit repetitive in my content because the markets aren't really moving. So I have to wait till the markets move, and then we'll be back streaming every single day again. But yeah, if you like the channel, if you like the content, you know what to do. I'm gonna push you onto it too much. But yes, let's get deep down and dirty into this quickly. Solana is actually in a bit of a ranging period right now. Okay, the range that I am referring to is between 127 and 157 here. Very important actually, because if we do see any sort of breakout scenario from this parallel channel, if you will, it's going to be pretty profitable either side. Okay, so yeah, definitely Definitely something to not overlook from a trading perspective. I know if you're hodling this, it's a great investment, guys. You're going to make copious amounts of cash over the next sort of 6 to 12 months here. It's a really, really strong investment. Just be prepared for swings. And if you are trading this, then you're also going to make copious amounts of cash. It's a win-win. Okay, it's a win-win. This is the move to the upside, and it's going to be worth around 17.83%, and the move to the downside is going to be worth around 17. It's going to be worth around 22.21. Oh no, just a little lower than that. Yeah, 21.76 to the downside here. So depending on where we break, depending on how that looks there, sort of a really clean entry for this trade would be 163. Okay, the reasoning for this is, guys, as you can see, nice bits of support here, really nice and clean, really, really nice stuff there. And first TP would be just above here, because every time that we have tested this area, you can see really nice, clean, banging it up to that first TP. Okay, so yeah, that would be the entry point, and there oh, I mean, that's pretty much the whole move. So maybe instead what you could be doing here is I mean, even that candle body close is rough, because you don't actually, I mean, the first TP you could schedule it's 158 from, so yeah, it's not really worth your time here. Yeah, it's not great here. From an entry perspective here, not ideal. You could get in above 157, first TP around 160, 159, but again, this looks a bit too trappy to be flirting with, okay? It's not great. Okay, it's not a great scenario here, so I would actually be waiting for the confirmation for the candle body close above this area. Then it's above Fibonacci retracement 0.236, and also above unconfirmed higher low points from previous dumps to the downside. So yeah, if you are looking for that move, that is sort of the move that I would be going for Solana here. Just jumping out of this parallel channel, probably worth around 7.85%. Now, what we could do is get the volume weighted average true ranges coming through here. This does make it look a lot messier, I must apologize. Volume weighted ATR band, 60-minute, looking digressionary, but still it's not smooth at all. It's waving like crazy here. So this is not great for an entirety of direction that we could be looking for. So yeah, not ideal. We're gonna leave that where it is. But again, you want to be over that if you want to be getting into that move. You can see another take profit is going to be the 4-hour volume weighted ATR band coming down in digressionary stance. That usually means heavy resistance from this zone yet again. Gonna swig the tea, and then we're gonna jump to ARB. LR says the market is so boring right now. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. The market is just it is pretty dry. It's pretty dry. I'm more enjoying watching Bitcoin more than anything, because we do have quite a lot of really crazy stuff happening with Bitcoin that could send it at any point. And again, very annoying. I literally I woke up this morning. It was one of those, you wake up, you look at the chart, it's like, oh, that looks bearish as hell. I'll short that. Shorted it, and then out of nowhere, explosion to the upside. So yeah, got wrecked this morning in that position, but hey ho, is what it is. Can't win them all, as we say. But yeah, currently sat around 63k for Bitcoin. Probably would expect a bit of downside, actually. I wouldn't expect a continuation to the upside here. There's too many resistance points, digression with volume weighted ATR bands here. Overall, it's looking pretty rough. But if you are looking for a more in-depth macro, some crazy thunder outside. If you are looking for a more in-depth macro perspective here on Bitcoin, just forward the stream to the start or watch it later, and you will see that we've got some very bullish signs coming through across multiple cycles here, looking at all the different previous halving points and sort of the average pullback areas that we have currently hit. Really interesting data there, so definitely worth a look. Let's jump to ARB, and then we're going to get into, we'll jump to ARB, and then we'll do, did we do KSM? I think we did KSM already. And Grant US says, hey, CryptoChester, missed these streams. I'll try and start joining back in, but I leave back to the US East, my hometown, tomorrow. Okay, man. Sometimes might be after low, because it's 6 a.m. there right now. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem, man. Yeah, it's annoying, because like, I'm in Thailand, right? So I have to try and time it, because I know a lot of the audience is from the UK as well. So yeah, timing it is unfavorable. It's not great, so I do apologize if it is like 6 a.m. and stuff like that, but you can always watch the stream back. I try and always give a macro perspective here on the charts on every asset, so the data doesn't essentially run out. So you can watch it every day or every other day or even weekly. Some of the altcoins I do, I just stick on the macro, and that data can last for literally a couple of months or so. So yeah, that's what I would say about that. ARB. Let's do a bit of ARB. Arbitrum. Is that how you say it? Arbitrum? Oh, not a lot of volume here. Not a lot of volume here. This is it's not the worst chart in the world, but definitely a bearish chart, if you will. Yeah, definitely bearish. I mean, this area is holding up pretty nicely, may I say. I would be looking for a potential breakout to the upside. If you are going to see that, then I mean, it's quite unlikely. I hate to say it, man. I hate to say it's quite unlikely. But the fact that the 1 hour volume weighted ATR band is in a digressionary stance quite aggressively here, it's very likely if you do come up here, you're just going to get rejected yet again. You need the volume weighted ATR band to be in a progressionary stance to really see this breakout come into an effect. What I mean by that is something like that, right? So in order to get that, you need to just be gradually trending up for a while. As you can see, we did see the same scenario happen here, and you can see progressionary stance started, but you still sowed aggressively before you actually hit that. So caused obviously heavy rejection. So you need basically an uptrend like this, but for a bit longer, and continual. And once you hit that, then it's very much more likely, more likely for a breakout scenario from that trend line to the downside. But yeah, first thing that is. The second thing that is sort of taking my fancy here, taking my eye, is going to be this descending triangle, guys. Descending triangles, they do tend to usually break to the downside, and as we were just discussing, volume weighted ATR bands here, they're in a digressionary stance, so overall is looking pretty bearish. There is potential moves here. If you did want to get into a lovely short position for this asset, then there's actually pretty much easy money to be made here if you are going to see this this move continue here. So what I'm talking about is going to be all these major levels of resistance here. And you're going to be using these simply as take profits, right? Simply as take profits. And usually, you know how we like it: 4 TPs to a position, 25% equity at every single TP, and that way you're basically you're taking profit at every level. And if you get reversed on, because remember guys, these chart patterns, yeah, they're great, but only it's 1 out of 3 times that they complete the move, which is not good statistics. Okay, it's not good statistics. So you need to up those profitability levels. So essentially what we're looking for here, staggering those take profits, stop loss to entry point when you hit that first TP, and then you're basically Gucci, you're good to go. Yeah, in terms of percentages for this, probably wouldn't be getting in until we see a clearance of this level here, and that is going to be worth around 13-14% to the downside here. The reason why I don't want to get in before here, guys, is you can see if you'd have gone in there, absolutely wrecked. Okay, there is another level of resistance here, level of support here, and if you're short, it's not in your favor at around 96 cents as well. So yeah, you want to be waiting until you get in here and basically simply shorting it down. Quite a clean free fall area. Probably worth around a couple of percentages there. Yeah, around 3% there. So not too bad overall for a nice short position for this asset. Overall, I would say bearish for ARB. Let's jump to sort of the macro here, because again, there is very key levels as well to be referencing. Just thinking like head and shoulders and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy there to really be referencing there, guys. But yeah, overall not looking too great. Topped out around January, which is again really not good considering the market has sort of been very bullish since January here. Yeah, not great for ARB, I'd say. Not great, unfortunately. So that's probably not all you wanted to hear. But again, if they've got nice fundamentals behind them, I don't really know that much about this asset. If they've got nice fundamentals behind them and they are going to be doing well in this run, clearly they've got something there, as you have seen a nice run towards the end of last year there. So this could essentially be a really nice buying area. There's some internal stuff going on. But the reasoning as to why they've dumped so heavily here, it's purely not down to TA. This is not like a normal cycle for an asset here. Like a lot of the altcoins are following their own sort of, well, the common sort of structure right now is bullish and kind of slightly breaking market structure on the macro here. But this is behaving completely erratically, and not like other altcoins here. So yeah, there's definitely some fundamental stuff going on behind the scenes, definitely to be looking out for there. Mr. 9248 wants a bit of Jupiter. Bit of Jupiter. Have a little look at that. I actually saw this asset launch, and it just did very, very well. Very well. As you can see. Yeah. Overall, pretty strong on this asset. Pretty bullish. Like, if you guys don't know, this is a decentralized exchange here. Primarily built for Solana, I do believe. It's used by a lot of people. I would say one negative factor about this is it's not that fast. And same with like Radium. They have got competitors now that are considerably faster, like Proton and I think Soulflare and stuff like that are considerably faster than them. So in terms of an actual use case, it's good. But in terms of a business competitor standpoint, Jupiter is kind of getting blown away a bit here. So they sort of need to either upgrade, get it faster, release something new that sort of has a competitive advantage. Because at the moment they're losing users continuously to other competitors. They lost me. They lost a few other people as well. So if it's not fast enough and you're trying to buy an asset that's moving very, very quickly, then only naturally you're going to go to a faster platform, right? So yeah, overall, I would say they do have a great use case, and it probably will do well throughout the bull market, but probably not as well as some might think, because there is a lot of competition out there for Solana right now in terms of hosting dexes and stuff like that. Like, yeah. And obviously, not to mention all the buy bots and stuff like that, right? But yeah, symmetrical triangle chart pattern. This is at the bottom of a downtrend. I would say that it could break either way. If you do break to the downside here, I probably would expect a buy-up scenario, as you've seen here, 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 and here. And this is going to be a bullish area and probably a buying area that you want to be looking out for there rather than a shorting area. Obviously, depending on the crypto markets and what else is happening. But definitely going to be a sort of a trap zone for the shorts here. If people are going to be going short here, you're likely to probably get wrecked. Even this, you see the momentum to the downside, you can see buying up straight away, getting wrecked. So probably what I would favor here is a long for this asset. Just looking at this chart here, it is bullish. It is looking pretty good here. But again, from a competitor standpoint, it's pretty tough there. Grant says, also, who the hell hasn't liked the stream? Come on, guys. To appreciate if you slap the like on that bad boy. Just check out its project, then why not to have a look? Said Veg Lover. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to be it from me. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. It has been a lovely show here today on this fine Monday morning. And I will be back Wednesday if you guys want to tune in as well. The easiest way for you to not miss the streams, because I look at the analytics to these streams, right? And a lot of you tune in and you stay for the whole stream, but then you miss the next stream because YouTube doesn't notify or you're not subscribed or haven't got notifications on and stuff like that. So make sure you've got notifications on, guys. And the more you interact with this channel, the more notifications you will get to so you never miss the lives, right? And then I can pick apart your coins all day long. So yeah, if you want to get involved with that, you can. And again, not to shill too hard, we're sponsored by BY DeFi. BY DeFi, that's how you say it. Yeah, nice exchange. And they're offering some nice bonuses there. Don't know if I got the link in the description. I think I do. So if you do want to sign up with that exchange, you're more than welcome to do so. And what was the next one? The next one was our Telegram, guys. It's a free Telegram group. It is our CC Gang family. CC Gang family. We're in there talking everything. We're talking about the northern and southern lights this weekend. Looking pretty cool. Some nice photos over there from MG and LR as well. And I didn't realize that the northern lights came all the way down to England over the weekend, which was pretty crazy as well. So yeah, obviously I didn't see it. I'm in Thailand, but yeah, well done to everyone that did get out there and see those southern lights. And that is due to the sun having a bit of a solar flare storm, which is pretty scary, may I add. They were saying that electronics and stuff could get wiped out. I was like, oh, that's concerning. But no, we're good. Yeah, the sun's just having a little bit of a hiccup, and that's why we are seeing northern lights and southern lights everywhere. Pretty cool though. Nice pretty skies out there. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Let me know how you are in the Telegram as well. Link is in the description. And if you like the stream, smash a like on it. That's gonna be it from me. Peace out and goodbye from me, Crypto Chester. See you Wednesday. Will I outro this? Yeah, we'll outro it.